And then for existing customer or wholesaler, for example, you wanted the logging so they will see different pricing, for example. Okay. Category navigation, 40 points. Product list page, 30 points. Product details, 15 points. Product search, 15 points. Now, I'm going to do this with you, okay? Of course, there's no way for you, to start developing an application of this magnitude, so quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a class, the e-commerce template, okay, and then do almost everything with you, okay, and then, and then you do your part. Okay, so I'm going to show you, another document, which is here. Something that is available for more than one modules. I will, post it under home. So when you click this online store development project guide, you're going to see, okay, everything that I demo to you. The green part is, your own coding in red. I should change that to green. In red, okay. Should be green, okay. I should change this one. Your own coding is in green. So we're going to do step by step, using this guide. For example, we come to master page, I'm going to show you how you do master page. And then, how do we do this main category? Create an online store in a category database. We're going to deal with that relational database model. And we want to normalize it. And then, I'm going to show you how you populate, category names and master page. So a lot of demo. So you actually don't do everything by yourself. Only those those in green. So that's partial. So that's why you need to come to class, watch carefully the demo, okay, and then after class you do your own. And you're gonna do it on your own template. Now, I'm gonna show you, okay, the online, e-commerce online, our online store template, the class, used by the class, which is under here, class online store template. Now, if you click it, you can download a zip file. Okay, after you unzip, now I'm going to show you what you have after you unzip. I'm going to go to here. Here. I already have it. Okay, so this is a free e-commerce, okay, or online store template. It basically has all the elements that we need. Okay, so you can download it, but this is for the class online store, the one I'm using to teach you how to develop, this online store. And you're not going to use this one. You are going to, purchase your own. I'm going to show you where you do, how you do that, where you do it. Okay. But let me just quickly go over this, online, store template. Okay, class, used by the class, by my demo. So if I click this index.html, then I have to show you. I have to switch to browser. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, so this is index page. Now you see on top you have this phone number, email, the store email, some social media elements. Down here you have the company's logo and different currency, different region, different currency, and you have account, wish list, checkout, card, login. We're not going to use this account and wish list, but we do need this checkout, card, and login. And you see this one, and you see here, home here. When you mouse over the shop, you have a drop down. You have a pop-up window that has a drop down list of choices like but okay. So for our online stores, I'm going to use this shop here. I'm going to change this shop to product or catalog. So when customer mouse over it, you're going to see main category here. You're going to see main category. And I don't need these all three. So, but the default page, index page, for this template, you have some promotional material here, right? Okay, a lot of material. We will not have to do all these kind of things. So content-wise, we don't need to do a lot. What I'm trying to teach you is that you know how to use a ready-to-use, professional developed, the e-commerce, the HTML5 template, responsive template, and then customize it. Okay, so again, like shop here, I'm going to change the shop to to catalog, and then mouse over it, we will see all the main category 1, main category 2, number 3, 4, 5, something like that. And whatever you see right now, it's all HTML, right? So everything is is static, is set static, it's in the web page. But we want to use this development, we use the design, okay, to dynamically show all the main category. In other words, main category 1, main category 2, 3, 4, 5, actually from the table, database table. Okay. Now, in the future, this index.html is going to become default.aspx. So when you go to this default page, or every single page, you have this. Okay, you have this home, shop, and something else. So every page, the user can mouse over it and then take and see the main category dynamically on the fly, created by the server side, ASP.NET. Okay, and then if you click one of the product, for example, when you click one of the main category, okay, let's say product is one of the main category, then you're going to see what you're going to see on your left hand side, all the subcategory. Right now, okay, this template, give you, it's already ready to use kind of, design, right? So this page is called shop, HTML. We can use this one to show what? To show category. So when you click product, that's the main category, right? And then, you're going to send, the request to server. Server going to return you with a page. Now, in this page is called shop.html. Later on, when we do ours, I'm going to call that category.aspx. And when you receive that page, all the subcategory for that main category will be here already. And then on this portion, we're going to show them feature product for the main category. And then when you click one of the subcategory, we don't have it here, okay? We'll have it up here, okay? Because we only do 2 levels. So main category is 1 level. Click one of them, you're going to come down here for subcategory 2nd level. Now, the template actually give you, third level, but we don't need it, okay? So let's say sportswear or men or women are, subcategories of the first, the main category. And then when you click one of the subcategory, you should show them a list, all the product, for that subcategory like this. But when we, click the main category from here, all right, and we go to category.aspx, we show them all the subcategory here, but on the right-hand side to begin with, we only show them feature items, feature product for that main category. All right, so when you click one of the subcategories, and then we're going to replace this feature product items, same place here by product list of that subcategory. All right, and then on top we should have in the breadcrumb, right? So we know where we are. So main category, subcategory, somewhere. Also, there's search box. Now this is HTML. We're going to turn that into server side, the search. So you enter a product number, we can go to product. Now, enter two words. We're going to find whether there are any match for the two words from the product detail or product description, something like that. And then once we click one of the product, okay, so right now this is only just dummy kind of content, and there is another page called product detail. You click it, you have this product detail.html. Now, so again, from here, from any of the product on your on this page, you click one of them, you should show this page called product detail.html. Now, in our case, it's going to be product detail.aspx. Again, we're going to get images for this particular product, more detailed info about this product. Now, including somewhere down here, you can actually show details, show review, and so on and so forth. Everything's from database. And we actually don't hard code the images also. Okay, we have to find a way to dynamically create all the images. Right? So up to this point, it is product catalog, online product catalog. We have it, and we also have a text box and a button. But once once customer enter a quantity and then go to add a cart, the other cart is actually here. Then we're going to show them the cart page. Okay, whatever they have in the cart. And the customer can update quantity, can delete one of the product in the cart, or empty the whole cart. And we should be able to know how to create this extension and then cart total tax. Okay, and that is the second stage. The second stage is called shopping cart. Now the whole thing, a better name is called online store. Shopping cart is only here, right? You're shopping, so you put product into the cart, you can maintain it. Okay, and that's shopping cart. And online store actually have a lot more functionality than what people usually call a shopping cart. They're different. I don't call them shopping cart. I call it online store. Okay, once everything's done, once the customer finish, his purchasing, click checkout. You go to checkout page. Then we're gonna fill out the bill-to information, shipping information, and then submit it. That's the third stage. Now, based on my experience in the past, we may not go into the third stage. So the third stage becomes something I just talk about, because by that time, basically you already learn whatever those basic those very useful kind of ASP.NET functions, functionality, classes, library, objects. The only thing you will learn from this checkout is once you click submit the order, how do you create a confirmation email, for example? How do you create a receipt, HTML receipt, right? And then after that, we still need to learn how do we send credit card information to a payment gateway, right? Get it validated, and then wait there, until the payment gateway sends you back the result. Either it is it's an authorization code or decline a message, and then you're gonna save that information in your database. Right? For authorization code, you save for this order. So after you ship it, after you package it, you ship it, and then you go back to the credit card company and say, hey, I'm done shipping. I want to get that money, and you have that authorization number, right? So you send it back to the payment gateway, claim that number. claim that amount of money, right? So this is what I'm trying to show you right now is the class online store template here, on here, and you, okay. So every time when I convert this into ASP.NET, okay, I will zip it and upload it to to Canvas. You can see it, right? Canvas, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that one I will put it here because that's going to share by server module. I would put it under home here, called online store. Um, online store. What do you call it? Online store project. We'll call that class online store project. It's zip file, and you can download it. Okay. Now, I want to show you where you can find, where you can purchase your, own, e-commerce website template. So, a second. All right, there is a website called themeforest.net. I think this website is probably the biggest website that that's selling. A lot of people, a lot of people's professional develop kind of website template. Some of them even have server-side script already, like WordPress. Now we don't want this WordPress. We just want a simple template, HTML, no scripting, nothing. So we can do something like this. You go to where's the search box? Every time they change it there. Okay, here, search. You can do like e-commerce. Okay. In HTML. Search for e-commerce HTML, and then you're gonna see 1,151 items in here. Okay, and then you see the price, $24, $17. The most I can see is probably like $50, and you just have to look through it and find something you like, and that template has, like I say, it has this somewhere that you can have it drop down so you can show the main category, somewhere you can show the subcategory, and it should have product detail page, and a product list page like this, and a product detail page, a checkout page, a cart page, a logging page. Okay. So something else like accounting, like account, like wish list, and some of the template may have a lot of pages. You can have it, but we may not need it. Okay. Now let's take a look at this one, for example. Okay. HMart, all right, electronic, it's an e-commerce system template. Let's take a look at it. You click through the preview. All right, you can and view demo. All right, they have multiple, right? So let's say home page 1, home page 2. Let's take a look at this one. Go in there. All right, you see this is it, right? You have this mouse over and drop down, and you can use this, right? And they have they have car page, checkout page, a lot of pages already. So this is a good page, right? Now some of them may not have login. Let's click this account and see what happens. No, the but don't worry about login page. We can just create a page for by our own and use that as a login. So it should have like somewhere that you can display in the main category. And let's take a look at page. Compare page. Where should this page? Account page. Now here we have a login page here. Empty card. Thank you. Let's say we click this compare page. Okay. Now this is actually a page that we can display the list of product. Right? Yeah, it may not be good. This is comparison. Let me see where we have. Okay, now under shop, if we click this product single, product slider, let's see product slider. Okay, sliders, it means like this. We probably don't need it. And look for something else. Product gallery left. Let's see this. Gallery left. This one. Product tab, product group, product single. Let's see product group. Like this. Let's see tab. No, let's see, where can I find page? You have to review it. Go deeper to find shop list left sidebar. Maybe this shop left sidebar. Oh, there you go. Right? See this one? On the left, you can show the subcategory. On the right, show them all the products or feature product. Now this one is different from this one, because this one you have you have this this way of displaying products 3 per row, and this one just 1 per row. Okay, well, fine. Because and all we need to know is how do I dynamically connect the database, the category table, and then show the subcategory here, and then how do I go to product table and actually pull out all the feature product for that main category, for example, and then show them the image for the product, the image name, image number, it's the description, price, okay, and somewhere there's a link. We click it and go to see the product detail page. Now the product detail page, it should be I think I saw it before, right? Like this, right? And for this one, we don't have to have don't have to show many images on the left, just one image. Okay, so you'll have to let me take a look one more. Okay, take a look at one more. All right, so let's say you're a little bit financially savvy. You want to go out to see this $25, or maybe even 5 cents, $35. Let's take a look at this $35 and see what they have. Okay, and you need to purchase it. In my class, I don't require any textbook. Right, textbook sometimes costs you $80, $100, and this this you need to buy this template. So everybody has a different template. So we don't just copy others in the project, and really learn how to customize. Okay, now this is one of them, right? Okay, now say we want to preview item. Number 1 selling e-commerce design. Okay, so check out demos. So demo 1. Okay, let's say we pick this demo 2. All right, let's see what we have. Now $35 is a lot more, a lot more. A lot of time they have pretty much the same page, but they may have a variety of different pages with different layout. For example, you have a pop-up of this, right? And the menu is different. The menu is like this. Now this is probably a little bit more complicated. And I don't actually like this one. You click menu, it actually just cover everything else and give you this menu, and then so this, I don't really like this one. Okay, try to buy something simple. Otherwise, the customization work is going to be a little bit more complicated. Okay, like this one. Yeah, but this is actually a card, right? Some of them, you mouse over, it show you a quick summary of the card. Okay, but you can still go into see the card page like this. Okay, the card page, and this one is different from this one. The one I'm going to use for class is simpler, but for this one it's a lot more. Oh no, not this one, right? And it looks more graphically appealing, and the summary is on the right hand side. It's not on the bottom. So if you have a lot more items, you don't need to scroll all the way down to take a look at the total. So this is it's just design. Okay. Usually, the more money you pay, the more pages, the more functionality you're gonna get. Okay. But just remember, you want to get simple one, right? And the way that you search is you just search for e-commerce HTML. Don't search for example, e-commerce like WordPress or something. You can do e-commerce thing also. But let me tell you, so if you do like e-commerce WordPress, you're gonna get a template that already have some server-side scripting inside. We don't need it. We don't do this PHP. We do ASP.NET. So we need to get a very clean HTML template. Now, I guarantee everything you see in the in this uh, network. I mean, ThinkForest.net should all be responsive. For example, I just shrink. You see when you shrink it, right? You don't you see it's just like a water flow. The content this much will be flowed down depending on the size of your of the brown or the device. So it's actually flowed down, right? So that's responsive. You want to check, but from my point of view, nowadays, if you have a professional website, that you upload it for sale, it has to be responsive. There's no way that you can carry it away from. So when you search, you don't need to, like before, I have to really type e-commerce with some responsive template. Nowadays, you don't have to. Just type e-commerce HTML. You're going to get a bunch of them, and find one that you like. Okay. So that is, what. All right. So next. So let me go back to what I want to talk about, and that is, do you have any questions about template? Anybody?
No, seems pretty straightforward. Just get an HTML only one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy the one that you like. Don't get a very complicated one, or
Okay.
don't get the one that has server-side scripts. Just plain HTML.
Cool.
And then I'm going to go back to this online store development project guide. I'm going to follow this one, okay? And you can see there's a lot of stuff out there. Okay, that's this for this whole semester, one at a time. Okay, and if you are curious, you can take a look at it home. See what we're going to talk about. This is a lot of things. And what I want to talk about at the very beginning is, now I already done this Visual Studio 2019 IDE, okay? ASP.NET IDE, I show you already. I talk about web form approaches, okay? Now, MVC, model, view, and control is a different approach, right? if I have time, toward the end of the semester, I'll talk about it in the course. But don't worry about these two. Like I say, I want to just get down to the very basically, kind of a model and learn it, so you know something, down behind. And these are just design, kind of idea. I'm sure that you go to Google, to find, if you throw a video like 30 minutes, you know what this is. Okay. And then, through that currency converter, examples, I will show you what code behind it, right? Okay. Now I'm going to talk about this web application architecture. Now, you take a look at this now, this image. Now, web browser, every time when you talk about web development, web computing, you have server side and client side. The client side is universal, it's web browser, even though we have different browsers, right? But front end is just browser, not like before. Like before the internet, every time when you want to have a B2B application or something called EDI, electronic data in exchange kind of applications, you have different servers, running on different platform using different technology. On the client side, they have different, same thing, a different front end. Okay. Nowadays, why this, why e-commerce becomes so prevalent? Because one of the reasons is the front end is just universal. You just have to develop a web page that can be run by browser. That's it. Okay. So web browser is standard. It's just unique. It's universal. And then from the web browser, you're going to make a request, right? So in your URL box, you're going to type a request. Okay, you're going to type a request. And that request can be something.html or something.html, right? And if from the browser you are requesting something.html, and when that request finally arrive at the server side, okay, certainly the server side basically will just go to the file system, find word request out, for example, this is an example, okay, something.html. Go to that file system, find it and pull it out, and send everything intact without any changes back to the browser. So in that sense, the web server over there is, the job is kind of easy. Nothing, you request, something.html or something.html, I just find it and send it back to you. Yeah, that's the case. But if you request something like a server program, like something.aspx, .php, .jsp, or something else, and then the web server cannot do anything with that because the web server is not a application server. It's not a database server. It's only a server that processes requests and response. You send me, if you send me an HTML request, I go get it and send it back to you. That become a response. If you send me something like .aspx, I then have to have somebody else have an application service provider. Okay, in this case, if you request something .aspx, the application server will be what? Will be that ASP.NET runtime. If you request a PHP, that's going to be PHP runtime. That is already registered with the web server. Now, let me backtrack a little bit. Okay, back a little bit. When you send a web request to the server, okay, in terms of this protocol stack, okay, inside is what is HTML. I mean HTTP. The request is HTTP because the web is running on a protocol called HTTP. Now HTTP is part of what? It's part of the internet. Now, when you talk about internet, you have web, which is HTTP. You have email, which is SMTP. Now you also have ATP, all right, or something else. So internet is actually just a platform, right? Just a infrastructure, and you can run a lot of stuff in there. Okay, and based on the protocol. And then, web is using HTTP protocol. So when you send out a request, you're requesting something .html, and then that protocol stack, um, the first layer is going to be HTTP, and then when the browser, when you click in a submit, that when you submit that request from that URL box, your machine, okay, your desktop or your laptop will then what? Will then add another layer called internet, called some TCP/IP, because the internet is running TCP/IP. Okay, so in this case, the whatever request HTML. Outside you have HTTP protocol, protocol, and then layer, and then very outside is the TCP/IP. So that data packets start travel, right? Traveling in the internet, eventually arrive at the server. The server, in this case maybe cpp.edu or maybe ibm.com, whatever. Okay, and then that server, in this case, is always networking server. Okay, we'll take a look at that data packet. And the data packet is TCP/IP. Okay, on that machine there is a TCP/IP module running on and the memory will take control. And that TCP/IP module will take a look at what's inside, right? And in this case, inside is HTTP. Then if you then this TCP/IP module knows, all right, that's actually for web. So then you'll look for the web server register with that machine, with that server. Okay, in this case, let's say this, Microsoft web server. Okay, and then and that server will then take a look at inside. What's inside? Oh, the inside is HTML. Okay, go get the file from the file system, retrieve it, send it back to the web server. It's done. If it's request for something .aspx, then send that message to that and transfer that that request to the ASP.NET runtime, which is application server. And then for that for that runtime, in this case, if you request a main category, and that ASPX will then just go to database, put out main category. If it needs data from outside, it go outside. In our case, remember we'll talk about this online payment gateway processing, and that, if it has a checkout page, and then they have to send out, the credit card information out to the, authorized.net, the online payment gateway, all right, and they process it and wait there until they send it back. When after you receive it, and then you send everything in HTML format back to the browser. Now remember, everything you send to the browser has to be in HTML. That's it. Now remember that currency, the converter application. The default ISPX in the first line is just the page derivative, right? Okay, that is page. That's the page being executed, being run by this application server. In that case, it's ASP.NET runtime. Everything's done all in HTML, and it'll be sent back by web server. So you see, this web server is a very simple stuff. Right? And it's not an application server, not a database server. It's just like it's even not a file server. It's just a simple module that processes requests and response. Send something to application server, or retrieve something and send it back to the browser. That's it. It's not secure, right? It's really not secure. And so, in today's web computing, okay, instead of web computing, it's probably only 20% or 25% of your web development is client side. The majority work is on server side. Because what? Because database, right? You don't have that database on client side. You cannot put out an online, some kind of table from here and send everything to the web server and have web server. They don't want to do that. You only give them what they want and then wrap it up in HTML format. Okay, and so the purpose is just for those people to view it. They're not supposed to, to even view the source code and take a look at what these hidden field what's inside? No, that's not their business. Okay, so everything is sent out to the browser. Basically, there's no security at all. You just give it to them. Okay, and then because you cannot have a database, here, or you cannot have a lot of very important business logic running in the browser. So everything has to be done here. So that's what I'm saying. Like 70%, 75%, it's here, and you find out, by learning this, how to do this online store. Just virtually the way that you create a page is done on server side, and a lot of dynamic content from database, and even the business logic. Same thing. That business logic is being embedded in the in the ASPX page. And in this case, it's code behind page, something .vb or something .cs. You don't want to send that business logic all the way to a browser, unless that logic is not a secret or just simple. You want to reduce the processing load of your server, so you have some other business logic done on the web server. How do you do that? How do you run that business logic on web server? That's my question. Anybody can anybody answer that question? In your browser, how do you actually execute some business logic? Anybody? No one? No one? You gotta be kidding me. What's in the browser? When it sends something to you in the browser, what's in that page? What do you have? Besides HTML tag or some of the content, text, what else can you have?
I don't want to assume JavaScript, but maybe JavaScript?
Got the right answer.
Okay. Whew.
JavaScript, right? JavaScript is the guy who actually run, something, dynamic. You can actually send over in business logic something plus something or some of the a simple algorithm and have it run, on the client side. You can have a toolbox like a currency converter. Right? That thing can actually everything run on the client side. Right? You can write it in JavaScript. Then you have a box, to enter, the currency in, and a drop-down box. In this case, is select tag, right? And then have to choose one. And there's a button. When you click the button, you actually, activate one of the JavaScript event procedures inside that web page and run it, and then show that result in one of the span tag, right? Because that that's not secret. The currency converter, you can do that, everything that on the client side. But in reality is a lot of the business logic is confidential, so you have to hide it. You have to run it on the server side. So that's what I'm saying. Again, like 75% at least, okay, of today's web development is on the server side. 25% on the client side. Okay. Why still 25%? Anybody? What's good about what's so special about that HTML? Who answered that question? The JavaScript. You get 1 point.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Hey, everybody can answer the question. Okay, even try. Good try. Sometimes I even give you a partial point for a try, for a guess. So why is still like 25% of effort? Okay, on the client side. What's good about that HTML?
It's easy to use.
Huh?
Isn't it because it's easy to use?
Okay. Now let me give you a better term. All right. You actually get to the point. I give you half a point. It's called user experience. You want to develop a website that's easy to use, right? That's very intuitive, right? And also that web page is responsive, so it can be displayed in any devices, including a desktop or any kind of mobile devices, right? And also you can add some JavaScript to do it, right? So that kind of work, it's not, I'm not saying that kind of work is, it's simple. It's still, you still need to learn how to do it. Now, in this case, we actually go to themeforest.com to download a professional developed e-commerce template. Now, think about that template. If you need to do it by yourself, oh man, you can need a lot of training, a lot of experience, you know, and before you can do that. Now, in our class, we are more like server side, so we cannot spend a lot of time on the client side. So that's the reason why we just download a ready-to-use, professional developed kind of template and use it. As long as we know how to customize it, we can just use that professional developed kind of web template, and we know how to do server side, and then we have an online store, professional look. Really thank to those people who spend their time, learning how to develop, those templates. That's really make today's, web, developer job a lot easier. But again, you have taken, CI's 3110. In that class, you should know all the basic HTML5, CSS. So sometimes if you need, even the template right now, if you need to adjust a little bit CSS, you know where to look, where to modify, how do you modify, right? Sometimes the font size too big, all the font size, all the specifications actually specify in a CSS file. You need to know where to find that file, where to find that, a special CSS class, and then to change it. That's what you learn, in your CIS 3110. In this class, we don't do that, okay? We just use it. We don't concentrate that 75% of work on the server side. Okay, now, I'm going to show you one more thing, okay? Remember last time, okay, so what I need to do is I'm going to change. I'm going to show you. Remember, we talked about web server, right? In your Visual Studio 2019, there is something called matrix. Okay, that is a skill. Oh no, it's called Express. Okay, Microsoft, it's Web Server Express. Okay, that's a scaled down kind of web server. Scaled down web server. It's not a fully grown, fully functioning, double S internet information server. And then I'm going to show you how you actually have it. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to go to your control panel. I'm going to go to control panel. Inside, I will show you in just a second. Okay, so let me get there first. And then you're going to look for add or remove, programs. All right, so let me switch the, let me show you the screen in just a second. All right, you need to go to here, all right? This is add or remove, programs. On the left-hand side, okay, you click this turn Windows features on and off, or off. Then your desktop or laptop will give you all the built-in features, Windows features. And you look for this Internet Information Services. That is the web server, Microsoft Web Server. Okay, you don't need FTP server. You need this, web management tools and World Wide Web services.
That's why we can't see the second window.
Okay, so that's the problem with this Zoom. You see now? You see it now, right?
Yeah, yes, we can see.
Yeah.
So you look for this Internet Information Service. Okay, check it. All right. Once you check it inside, you probably don't need the FTP server. To save some spaces. The most important thing is this World Wide Web service that you own, and this web management tool. Make sure these two are clear. Now, even this web server, World Wide Web service, you have a lot of stuff. By default, just check them all. Okay, check them all. And once you click OK, I'm not going to click it because I already have it. Once you click OK, okay, and then I'm going to show you something different. And then your Windows will then install that IIS. And once that's done, you take a look at your C drive. You should have this init pop automatically created. Under that, you have this www with some other. And from that point on, okay, so your currency converter, you probably just store it somewhere else. And for your own online store, you want it, installed it under www root. Because later on, I'm going to show you how you actually, configure it so you can run it, just like, you run it up, on the real world. Because right now, remember when you click that Visual Studio, I have time to show that. No, I don't have time. Let me show you. Okay. Right, stop sharing. Let me go to the. I'm going to my Visual Studio very quick. Okay. Go to the currency converter. All right, then I'm going to show you. I'm going to change the screen to that. All right, remember this is currency converter, right? When we run it, okay. When we run it, so we run that in Firefox. Yeah, Firefox. Okay. Run it, and I'm going to show you the browser. Oh no, so I need to run a different web browser. Firefox. Let me run Google Chrome. Okay, let me run it this way. Just a second. Web browser, what's something like that? No, not here. How come I understand that? I can never run this double it. I have a little problem with my web server. I need to figure it out. So I'll show you next time. But remember last time when I click, when I run this one in the browser, it's actually running from the RWS Express on this machine, this this Visual Studio. But on the browser, we should be able to do something like this. So let me go to a browser. Now inside browser, we should be able to do something like this. Okay, this is like whatever abc.com and then product, something like that. Okay, not like when you run this directly from Visual Studio, you have HTTP, and then you have a port number, a random port number, something like that. Okay, this is when you run directly from Visual Studio, you're gonna see this one. Now, if you have a fully functioning IIS and you know how to configure it, and then you don't need it. You don't need support. You can run it on your machine just like you run it from real world. Okay. So and also another purpose of you to install this fully functioning web server is that the Express is not totally the same as the fully functioning IIS. So a lot of time you develop something from Visual Studio, okay, and you want to push it out to production, to the left side, and you got to make sure and the web server, or in this case the ISP somewhere, okay, running your website, they're actually using IIS. You gotta make sure it runs the same. So that's the purpose of, to have that, on your machine. Okay. Now, so we're gonna meet next month, few weeks, all just demo every time. All right. So next Monday, before next Monday, you should have chosen your e-commerce e-commerce template. Okay. If you're not so sure, the one you choose is correct, you can email me the link. I can take a look very quick and let you know. All right. So you need to find your own. Okay. You can also download the eShopper, from Canvas, the class template, and run it and get to know, what I'm talking about. What I mean by, a simple e-commerce template, ready to use template. And then Monday, I'm going to show you how we actually, create a online store template. Not, a lot of template, you have some commonly shared kind of elements, right? Like, on top you have menu, on the bottom you have note, footnote, and so on. Every page you create, you should have these elements. Now, how do we do that in ASP.NET? That's called master page. I always show you how to do that, and after that, you're going to apply what you learned. How do you, what you learn about creating a master page on your own e-commerce website template. Right, and then we're going to move from there. I'm going to create, main category table, and also customize the template. Everything hand by line by line, and you learn it. Okay, you go home and do your own. Any questions about my lecture today? So starting from next week, you're going to be busy coding. But again, it's not going to be something that beyond your capability. Because I know, just a couple classes, I can expect you to build something huge. So I do a lot of, for you, and then you do something that I require you to do. And a lot of time I will have some bonus for those who want to do more. Questions? All right, so you think about your question, okay? You can still ask, we'll still have like 5 minutes. While you are thinking about questions, I want to take a roll very quick. So when I call your name, please just answer. Today is the 8th, right? Joel, A-N-G, is it Joel?
So, I'm here.
Jizzle, okay, great. Okay. Steve, Amas.
Here. Armas, here.
Okay, Steve, long last name, right?
I know.
Yeah. Lawrence Terrenta. Lawrence, are you here? No.
Here.
Jacob Britton.
Lawrence is here. He just didn't say anything. He's unmuted.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay.
He's on the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, Steve, why don't you just keep checking the chat? Let me know, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. So Jacob Britton's here, right? Jacob.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Sinan Kecker, not here.
No.
Okay. Eric Chong, not here.
Hello?
Okay, here. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Good, guys. I saw you. All right. Fady.
I'm here.
All right. Crystal Gomez. Not here. All right. Tommy Ho. I think I saw you.
Here. Here.
Nicholas Malone.
Hello, I'm here.
All right. Alexandra.
You can just call me Alex, but I'm here.
Alex. Okay. Alex. Okay. Just a second. Gerald.
Jared, here.
Jared. Oh, okay. Jared. Jacqueline.
Here.
Justin. Not here. we only have one Justin. Andrew Park. Andrew. Not here? Okay, Casitel. Last name P.I. Pi? Not here?
Oh, they're here. They're in the-
Can you repeat that, Professor? Oh, Castillo.
Castiel, you know, last name P.I.
Here.
Sorry, Jesse Pinedo.
Here.
Okay, thanks. Matthew Rezo.
Here.
Tommy Sandoval. Tommy? Not here?
Oh, he's here, yeah.
Oh, he's here, okay. Jack Thong.
I'm here.
All right, Samuel Wenger. Samuel Wenger. Not here.
I saw him earlier, I thought.
He was here? Okay.
Yeah, he was here earlier. I think he might have left already, though.
All right, Cam Willis. Cam.
I'm
K-M.
here. I'm here.
Hakeem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good. Any questions, please ask. Okay.
I have a question that's off topic, but
Okay,
if
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
For that, there was an application for the city of Pomona that I applied for, and I saw that you're involved in it. So I just wanted to know when we would hear back if we got accepted
City of Pomona.
for the homeless.
No, I don't have a job like that.
Uh,
Not me. Well, homeless? No, not me. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
You may want to send an email, let me look at it. No, I don't have that. I never heard of it. Homeless? No. You have my name somewhere there? Jun Hui?
I saw your name was part of it too.
Well, you can send me the link. Let me take a look at it. I don't want people to
Okay.
use my name for something I don't know. Okay. If there's no question, I will see you next Monday. Make sure that before then you choose your